This conference will now be recorded.
So today we are going to discuss regarding some financial functions, which includes PMT, FV, rate, and NPR function. Okay. So do you know any one of them, like PMT, FV? No idea.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll continue these functions. So the first thing we are going to learn, that is PMT function. Okay. So PMT stand for payment function. Payment. Okay. So this is used to calculate the EMI, calculate the EMI per month or quarter. Okay. So you know what do you mean by EMI? EMI stand for, guys, you don't know EMI? Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
My screen is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then tell me, no, what does EMI stand for?
Ma'am, equated monthly installment.
Equated monthly installment. Okay. So what does mean by equated?
Ma'am, it's that whenever we have to pay an amount in over a period of time, actually, so we equally divide it, so that would be equated and then paid per
Okay. So
month.
good. So EMI stand for equated monthly installment. Equally we are pay every month we are paying the same amount. Okay, same amount of a installment, that we call it as a EMI. So think that I'm purchasing a one. Okay, we'll go for small example. So think that I'm purchasing a one scooty worth rupees 1 lakh. Okay, so currently I don't have that much of a amount, so I'm planning for to pay that amount in an installment basis. So when you're purchasing any fixed asset which is related to your car, scooty, furniture, machinery, okay, so we'll purchase it on installment basis. When you're purchasing on an installment or a EMI basis, we have to pay some down payment or an initial amount. So you know the down payment and the initial amount. So down payment or the initial amount is nothing but before purchasing. So we are paying some part of the amount. Okay. So think that I'm purchasing a scooty one worth rupees 1 lakh. So I'll pay 20,000 as a down payment. What is the remaining amount? Remaining amount I'll take it as a principal amount. So worth rupees 80,000. So this 80,000 I am planning to pay on a installment basis. So I'll go for the rate of interest. So without rate of interest, they don't provide the EMI facilities to us. So I'm EMI is, so I'll go for 6.25%. So I'm planning for I'll take it as 5 years. So I'm planning to pay that amount in the 5 years. Now I want to calculate the monthly installment. Okay. Any doubt regarding the question or the meaning of PMT?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So the next I'll go for the, so I'll open the Excel, will continue with us. Thank you.
Ma'am, can you say
So
that question again once? I have to just note it down in my Excel sheet.
I didn't type, I'll type it in the Excel sheet. Okay. Take it, no issues.
Okay, ma'am, got it.
Okay. Any doubt regarding the question?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll take a different question here, or we'll go for the same question. So I'm planning to take a one car, the worth rupees 10 lakh. So and the down payment is, I'll pay 2 lakh as a down payment, and the principal amount 8 lakh, and rate of interest is 6.75%, and I'm planning to pay for for 9 years. Okay. Now I want to calculate the EMI per month. Okay. So I'm using here one formula. Okay. Equals to PMT. The formula is equals to PMT. Open the bracket. Open the bracket. Can you see here? When you open the bracket, you have the rate. Okay. So I'm selecting the rate here. Any doubt till here?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So this rate is for per annum. So I'll divide it by, I'll use a 12. 12 stand for number of months. So I'm selecting the rate. This rate is for per annum. So I'm taking it as a divided by 12. So the next one is NPR. NPR stand for your year. So I'll select my year, multiply by 12. I'll select my year, multiply by 12. Otherwise, directly you can take it as 12 into 9, that is 108. No, both are same. I'll use a comma. Then future value. So that is principal amount. So I'm using here minus principal amount. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Other people? If you want, I'll explain it once.
Ma'am, can you explain it again?
Okay. So now I want, you got the question, no ma?
Yes, ma'am. I got the question.
Okay. So equals to, I want to make the payment. So I'm using here equals to PMT. Open the bracket. When you open the bracket, so below it will show you the rate for you. So I'm selecting here the rate. So rate divided by, so this rate is for per annum. So I'm taking it as a divided by 12, comma. The second one is NPR. NPR is years. So I'm selecting the year. Multiply by 12, comma, minus FV, the future value. So the principal amount, select the principal amount. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Ma'am, why is it minus the principal amount?
The thing is, if you take it as a principal amount, the whole thing as a principal amount, so your value comes under negative. Can you see here?
Oh, okay, ma'am.
So that is a reason I'm using here minus principal amount, enter to. Okay. So after this, you can select it. You can change into a currency. So change into a Indian rupee.
Can you just explain the command again?
Sure. So click on this OK option. Equals to PMT. Open the bracket. Rate divided by 12, because this is for number of months, comma, years, multiply by 12, comma, minus principal amount. Got it? And the close the bracket.
Yes, ma'am.
Click on enter button. Other people, do you have any query?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So if I'm planning to pay it for quarterly basis, okay, the first thing is every month if you pay 9,904 rupees, so within 9 years we are going to, okay, pay all the uh, EMI with principal and the rate of interest. Now, if I'm planning to pay this payment for quarterly basis, you got my point here. Every month I'm paying here. If I want to pay the amount quarterly basis, what is the formula? Equals to PMT. Any one of you, can you guide me, or I have to explain it to you? Chalo. So
Ma'am,
rate,
this is for quarterly pay basis, right?
yes, pa. If I'm
And
planning to pay it
previously was
quarterly,
yearly.
monthly,
Oh, previous was monthly. All right.
yeah. So equals to payment, open the bracket, select the rate of interest divided by 4. What do you have to select? You have to select divided by 4. 4. When it is monthly, we'll take it as a 12. When it is quarterly, we'll take it as a 4. Comma, year, multiply by 12, comma, minus principal amount. Do you have any query?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Close the bracket, click on enter option. So if you're planning to pay your amount on quarterly basis, every quarter you have to pay 29,832 rupees. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
So the next one we are going to learn, that is Guys, can you see here? This amount, it includes principal as well as interest, no? Every month it includes principal plus interest. So now I want to calculate. So what is in this amount? What is the principal amount for the first month, second month, third month, or the interest amount for the first month, second month, and the third month? You got my question, or can I explain it once?
Can you explain again, mom?
Okay, so in this 9,000, so it includes principal amount plus interest amount. So now I want to calculate for the first month what is the principal amount and what is the interest amount. So for that
Yes,
purpose,
ma'am.
we are using the PPMT and IPMT. Okay. IPMT, which stand for interest payment, and the PPMT stand for principal payment. Okay. Now equals to, I want to calculate what is the interest amount in the first installment or the third installment. So whichever you want. So I'm using here IPMT equals to IPMT. So I'm using here rate. So I'll select a rate, same formula guys, divided by 12, comma, here you have to mention whether for the third month, whether for the fourth, fifth, sixth. So you have to select like that. So I'm selecting here. I want what is the interest amount for the first month. So I'm using here 1, comma. The remaining things are same. Years multiply by 12, comma, minus the principal amount. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So close the
Mom,
bracket.
excuse me,
Apa,
mom.
apa.
Mom, you have selected there one. That is for first month. For
First
every
month.
month, the interest payment will be same only, no, mom.
No. Interest payment is different. I'll give one more example to you. Okay.
Okay, mom.
So this is for first month. Click on enter option. So this is 4,500 for first month. Okay. So I'll take it as a first month. I'm using your second. So I'll just show with the same formula equals to IPMT, open the bracket, rate. So I'm selecting the rate here, divided by 12, comma, per is nothing but, for example, I want third month interest, comma, NPR 9 multiply by 12, comma, minus the principal amount, close the bracket, click on enter button. Can you see the difference? So for first month, 4,500 is the interest amount in this. Okay. And the remaining is principal. Here for the third month, this is the interest amount. Got it?
Yes, mom.
Same thing will calculate for the uh, principal. So I'm using a PPMT, rate divided by 12, comma, per is nothing but, so I'll take it as a first only. Okay, so I'm using a 1, comma, NPR years multiply by 12, comma, minus principal amount minus principal amount. Close the bracket, click on enter button. So we'll use a we'll calculate this. Can you see here? Okay.
Ma'am, excuse me, can you please show the PPMT formula once again?
Yeah, sure. Equals to PPMT rate. So I'm selecting the rate divided by 12, comma. So I want a third month principal amount. So I'm using here 3, comma, NPR. So year multiply by 12. Do you have any query till here?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Comma minus the principal amount. So I'm selecting the principal here. Close the bracket. Close the bracket. Click on enter option. Okay. So I'm using here interest plus princi. You can see. Any doubt regarding your PMT, IPMT, PPMT? If you have any query, let me know. We'll have a discussion on that. Chalo, you don't have any query. Okay. So the next one we are going to learn. So here we are calculating the EMI amount. Okay. The monthly payment. The next we are going to calculate what is the rate of interest. So what is the rate of interest? Rate of interest. So we'll take a one data.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, pa.
Ma'am, we have did separately the finding of principal amount as well as interest amount, no, ma'am. If we
Hmm.
add that both, will we get the same answer, ma'am?
Yes, pa. I showed you. No, here
Okay, ma'am.
you can see 9,904.
Okay, ma'am.
So the next thing we are going to learn, that is rate of interest or the interest rate. So first I'll go for the amount of a loan. So the total amount of a loan is, I'll give a small example, 25,000. So we'll go for the years. So I'm planning for 5 years. Then I'll go for the monthly payment. Monthly payment. So any doubt regarding the question? Here the total amount is 25,000. So I'm planning for 5 years. Monthly payment is 1,200. So here we calculated the monthly payment. Okay. Here we are calculating the what is the interest rate or the rate of interest. So I'll go for the interest rate. Guys, do you have any query regarding the question?
No, ma'am.
Fine then. So we have the one formula equals to rate equals to rate So NPR. So NPR stand for your years. Okay. Multiply by 12, comma. So the PMT. PMT stand for your the payment. Okay. So I'm selecting here the monthly payment, comma, minus what is the total amount? Amount of a loan is
25,000.
25,000. Any doubt regarding the formula? If you want, I'll explain it once. Fine then. I'll close the bracket, click on enter option. You can see here. So 4% is the rate of interest. Do you have any query?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Next. So the next one we are going to calculate the years, that is NPR. So annual interest rate, I'll take it as an annual interest rate 8%, yearly payment 3,800, and the loan amount I'll go for 10,000. Okay. So now I want to calculate what is the number of year. Okay. So I'm using here one formula equals to NPR equals to NPR. So you have the option here rate. So I'm selecting this rate, comma. Then we have a PMT, that is principal amount. So I'm using here principal amount minus the principal amount, comma. Then we have the loan amount. Any doubt?
One more time, ma'am.
Equals to NPR, open the bracket, rate, okay, comma, minus yearly payment. Yearly payment stand for PMT. Okay. So one or the instead of yearly payment, I'll take it as a monthly payment. So I'm using here equals to NPR 3,000. We can easily 1 minute, guys. Take it as 2,000. Loan amount I'll go for the 4,500. Instead of 10,000, I'll make it as a 1 lakh. So equals to NPR rate, comma, minus. So monthly payment is, so I'll take it as a monthly payment 4,500. So and the loan amount. So loan amount I'll take it as a future value, comma, future value. Got it or can I explain it once?
Got it, ma'am.
Close the bracket, click on enter option. 1 minute. Rate PMTFP.
Excuse, ma'am.
Yes, pa.
Ma'am, in the previous sum all, we took minus sign for the loan amount, ma'am. But in this, we'll take minus sign for monthly payment. Why so, ma'am?
So according to the circumstances, we have to select it here. Okay. So regarding this, I'll get back to you. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, minus 1 lakh. Fine. You have to take divided by 12, I think. Okay, fine. So I didn't take here 12, no?
Formula.
Okay, I'll repeat it once. Give me a 1 minute. Okay, so I'm using here equals to principal amount के लिए था, equals to NPR rate. So this rate is for per annum. So I'm using here divided by 12. Any doubt regarding the rate,
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
comma, and the PMT. PMT stand for payment. Monthly payment we are making 4,500. Monthly payment is 4,500, comma, minus the loan amount. So I'm using here the loan amount. I'll close the bracket, click on enter button. Okay. So if you take the minus in the loan amount only, is that fine? We'll get the same
Yes,
answer.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Other people, if you want, I'll explain it once. Otherwise, we'll continue to the next formulas.
Got it, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So this is your next assignment where you guys are going to calculate the payment function, PMT function, and IPMT, PPMT, FV, future value. Okay, this is FV. We didn't discuss future, no? Okay, fine. Do you have any query regarding the rate, interest, and the PMT, IPMT, PPMT?
No, ma'am.
So the next one we are going to learn, that is future value. Okay. So most of the time, like your parents are paying the like life insurance. Yes or no? For your
Yes, ma'am.
future. I'll go for pre. So like they are planning. I'll just if we stand for future value, that is which calculate the, so think that for example I'm planning to pay 2,000. This is for per month. Okay. So rate of interest, the company is giving the rate of interest, that is 6.65%. So you guys are planning for to pay that premium amount for 10 years. Okay. Now after 10 years, what is the future value you're getting? So this we are going to calculate it. Got it? Or can I explain it once? So future value stand for which calculate the future value for you. Okay. Like when you're paying some principal, sorry, some premium or any insurance. Okay. So in that time we are using this future value. Got it? Or can I explain it once?
Got it, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So think that instead of a premium, I'll take it as a, of course, you know about a life insurance, that is LIC, Life Insurance Corporation. So every month you're paying the premium, like 2,500. Okay. So they promise is to pay the interest on this amount, that is 6.85%. So you guys are planning for to pay that for 13 years. Any doubt regarding the question?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now I want to calculate what is my future value. So I'm using here equals to FV, open the bracket, open the bracket, rate. So you can see here I have a rate. So I'm selecting the rate. So this is for per annum. So I'm selecting the rate divided by 12, comma, year multiply by 12, comma, minus the premium amount, minus the premium amount. Got it, or can I explain it once? Guys, same thing here. We are
Got
using
it.
the FV function. That's it.
Got it, ma'am.
Okay, so close the bracket, click on enter button. So after 10 years, okay, so after 13 years, this is my the total value we are getting. Okay, so you guys work on these formulas. If you have any query, let me know. Fine.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So the next functions we are going to learn, that is database functions. Guys, do you have any query? So I'll give a 2 minutes of time to you. You just go through those things. If you have any query, let me know. Okay. Otherwise, I'll continue with my next formulas and functions.
Ma'am, FV formula one more time, ma'am. That formula.
Okay, pa. You got the meaning of future value function, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, equals to FV future value rate. So I'm selecting the rate. So this rate is for per annum. So I'll take it as divided by 12, comma, year, year, multiply by 12, comma, minus premium amount. You got it, or can I explain it once?
I got it, ma'am.
So close the bracket, click on enter option. So you'll get the future amount. After 13 years, you'll get the 6,26,359 rupees. So these are the sum function which is related to your financial functions. So the next thing we are going to learn, that is database functions. So this database play an important role. I'll tell you what is this database. Okay. See, a database functions is nothing but in a short, so we are not going to use any formulas here, like we have a sum if, some ifs are there, count ifs are there. So it is a lengthy process. So instead of that, by using this database, so we have only one formula, just you have to select the data. So it reduces the length of your formula. That is the use of your database function. Each column in the worksheet table store a different field for each record. So the database function perform basic operations such as the sum, average, count, etc. and additionally use criteria arguments, okay, that allow you to perform the calculation only for a specified subset of the record in your database. So what it will do, it will reduce uh, the what do you call it, it will reduce the formula, okay, by using the database functions. So I'll give now an example. If you don't understand the meaning, let me know. Okay. guys, I have some data here. So some items are there: quantity, rate, total, and the profit. Okay. So now I want to know what is the profit for the item salt. What is the profit for the item salt? Got my question? Or can I explain it once?
Mom, can you please give us some time to write the data?
Simultaneously, you are working with me.
Yes, ma'am.
What about others? Okay, fine.
No, ma'am, we're not
Yes,
writing.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
fine. Then I'll give a 2 minutes is fine, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, type it then.
Ma'am, here in
Uh-huh.
the database functions, what would be the difference between a normal sum and a database sum function or a
The thing,
database minimum?
yeah, yeah, I'll tell you. Okay. So see
Okay,
here,
ma'am.
I'll use a one formula here, like I'll use a sum if. I'll explain it to you. Okay. So I'm selecting the range here. Okay. The question is, I want to know the what is the profit for the item salt. So I have one criteria, particularly I need the profit which is related to a salt product. So this is my range, comma. Sorry, 1 minute. So this is my range, comma. I'm using here salt. Okay, comma. Some ranges, I'll select a profit. I'll close the bracket, enter. So you'll get the sum range. Okay. So what is the you'll get the profit for the product salt. So we have a lengthy process. Instead of that, DSM will reduce your steps, guys, and it has a common formula for D sum, D count, D average, D minimum max, and D product. So I'll just show you one formula. I'll use a D sum database. I'll tell you. I'm just giving an example. Okay. In that, I'm going to explain it to you. I'll select a database as a whole table. Field, I'll just select a profit, comma. Criteria, I'll select a item, that is salt. That's it. For a D count also same thing. You have a database, comma, field plus criteria. But when you're using your normal function, for each and everything you have a different uh, database, field, and everything is different. Okay, the whatever the syntax is there for your formulas is different. So that is the reason we are using the dsum formula. So I'll just close the bracket, click on enter button, you will get the same answer. And you can see here, for a if I have more than one criteria, so again I have to change my formula into a some ifs. So I have a different syntax for that. But in database you don't have like that. So that is a main okay advantages of using this database function. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Got it, ma'am.
Fine, in depth I'm going to explain it to you, don't worry. The person who are working with me, done? You entered your data?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Fine then. So I'll just show with the two different things where I'm going to use a normal formula. Second thing I'm going to explain with these some functions, that is database function. So I have some data here: items, quantity, rate, total, and the profit. Now, Now I want to know the, okay, instead of a profit, I'll take it as profit only. Fine. So I want to know the what is a profit for the item salt. I want to know the what is the total profit for the item salt. So first I'll use a normal function here. I have one criteria to make a total. To make a total, we are using this sum. If you have one criteria, so we are using sum if function. So in last class or the previous classes we discussed regarding this. Now I am using the normal formula here. So I'll use equals to sum if range. So I'm selecting the range, comma, criteria. So in that, so I'll use the quotation here, that is, excuse me, salt, comma, sum range. So sum range, I'll select a profit. Any doubt till here? So I'll close the bracket, click on enter button. So you'll get the sum. Okay, so this is a normal formula. Now I'm using my database sum function, equals to sum, dsum, equals to dsum database. The database, you have to select the whole table. Okay, the database is nothing but you have to select the whole table. Any doubt till here? Comma, filled. So I'm selecting the field here. What is my field? What do you want? I want to know the profit of a salt. So I'm selecting here profit. You just select the things. Otherwise, you can type it also, no issue. So I'm selecting the field here, comma, and the criteria. The criteria is salt. With heading, you have to select it. With heading, you have to select it. Item salt. I'll close the bracket. I'll close the bracket. Click on enter option. Any doubt?
Mom, it's showing incorrect value.
Uh, can you send me a photo so I can check it and I'll get back to you? Otherwise, I'll explain it to you. You just go through that.
Yes, ma'am.
Equals to d sum. Open the bracket. Second step is database. Database is you have to select the whole table. The database is the whole table, comma. Any doubt till here?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Field. So you have to select in a table, you have the profit. No. Select that profit. Heading. This is my field. So after that, criteria. The criteria is item salt. So I'm selecting the item salt.
Ma'am, instead of you're selecting salt there, can't we select in A column, ma'am, that side, left side? Sugar, salt. In that, can't you select
Yeah, yes,
salt,
yes.
ma'am?
We can. The thing is here, if you have to select the headings, guys, headings with the what do you call it as with item. So we can't select it here, no, like this. You have to select the whole thing. Okay, otherwise you have to select it like that. So that is the reason I am
Okay,
selecting
ma'am.
here. You got it, or can I explain it once?
Got it, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm selecting here. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
I'll close the bracket, enter. So you'll get the same answer without any effort here. Okay. So the syntax will be not changed for each and every formula here. So the next one I'll just show with some ifs and some if. Now I want to know the profit of a salt and the quantity which contain greater than. So sorry, which contain the less than 150. Less than 150. Okay. So for that normal function, we have to use sum ifs. Okay. I'll open the bracket. Sum range. So I'll select the sum range as a profit, comma. First criteria is I'll select the item, comma. In that I want a salt, comma. The second criteria I'll select the quantity, comma, with a double quotation less than 150, and I'll click on it. So 2600. Now, so without any effort, I'm using here equals to same formula, guys. D sum database. So I'm selecting my database, comma, field, same field, that is profit, comma. The thing is, criteria, you have to select two things here, items and quantity. So I'm selecting item and quantity. So when you want only one criteria, I'm selecting only one criteria here. Okay. Only one criteria I'm using. When you want a two criteria, you can go for two criteria. Select the two criteria. Close the bracket, enter. You will get the answer. So here, every time we have to change the syntax because see here, this is too lengthy formula. If you have more than three criteria for, so it will add with some more lines. So instead of that, directly you can use a dsum formula where database is same, field is same, criteria just you have to select. If you have one criteria, select one criteria. If you have three criteria, four criteria, select this criteria. That's it. Click on the enter option. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Got it, ma'am.
Fine. You got the difference between a normal formula and database functions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine then. So next I have some data here. Which is related to a subject. Okay, fine. Three score. Okay, fine. So I have some data here. I have a gender, subject, score. Okay, so which is in the percentage. So now I want to know the, okay, so according to what is the score of a male gender in this subject science. I want to know what is the score. Okay, I want to count. Count is nothing but of course you know about 1 2 3 4 like that numbers. So you can use count if here. Okay, otherwise instead of using this count if and ifs function, directly I'm going to use here decount option. Okay, and my criteria is I want to count how many male people, okay, is taking the science subject. I want to know how many male persons are taking the science subject. You got my question, or can I explain it once? Guys, if you want, I'll explain it once.
Got it, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So now I'm using here instead of count ifs, so I'll directly use here decount. So same thing, guys, nothing will change. Database, so I'm selecting the whole table, comma, field, I want a score, so I'm selecting only the score. Criteria, I'm selecting, I have given a two criteria here, that is male person, science subject. So I'm selecting the both the criteria. I'll close the bracket, enter. So I'll get the 3. We'll cross check with this. You can see a male signs one person. After that, male signs second person, male signs third person. Three people are there. Okay, got it, or can I explain it once?
Got it,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
I was the values. Can you please explain it once again?
Okay, pa. So you entered the values, ma.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So equals to d count, equals to d count database. So same formula, I'm selecting the table here, comma, filled, that is score. Any doubt? Comma,
No.
criteria. I have a two criteria, so I'm selecting the two criteria here. If you have one criteria, select one criteria. So I'm selecting your two criteria. After selecting the criteria, I'll close the bracket. I'll close the bracket. I'll click on enter option. So three people are there who's taking the science subject. Okay, three male people are there who are taking the science subject. Got it?
Got it, ma'am.
Fine then. Next one is the average. If I want to know the average, okay, so we are using average ifs, average if. Okay, so instead of that, what we will do, we'll go for the average. Okay, just I'll give a 2 minutes of time to you. Okay, enter the data. Oh, sorry, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Tell me, ma, you are telling something.
Ma'am, actually, I have doubt in one question, one formula, ma'am. That is ceiling and floor. Can you explain at the end of this session, ma'am?
Yeah, sure, ma.
Okay, ma'am.
So we'll start with the D average then.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So I have some data here, some region, salesman, person, sales. I want to know what is the average in the region south. Particular that person's name is Radha Krishna. Okay. So I'm using here equals to the average. So same formula, guys. I'll select the database, comma, field sales, comma, criteria is if you have only one criteria, select the region. Okay, if you have more than one criteria, select the two criteria. If you have more three criteria, select the three criteria. Close the bracket. Can I explain it once or you got it?
One more time.
Got it, ma'am.
I'm using here equals to the average. The thing is, I want to know the average sales of Radha Krishna in the south. So I'm selecting here database. After selecting the database, comma, field, particularly I'll select, I want to know the sales, comma, criteria. I'm going to select the salesman and the region. After selecting these things, close the bracket, enter. So the you can see here the average sales of a Radha Krishna in the south is 495.5. Can I explain it once or you got it?
Ma'am, excuse me. Now, if you add below south, if you add, for example, east, and
Hmm?
next below Radha Krishna, you write Bhim,
Hmm?
how
Hmm?
do you calculate the sales for that?
So we'll add this one east. Okay. Person B. Okay. So we'll change with this. Instead of this, we'll calculate this. Okay. So you have to just change
Um,
the region here.
Without
Okay.
doing that, you can't check for Beam.
So otherwise, you have to keep it here. Again, you have to copy the things. Now you can use the formula here. What is that? Equals to the average database, comma, field sales, comma, criteria. Close the bracket and so one thing you can change the region and the salesman person. Okay. The second one you can copy paste it. The thing is instead of copy pasting it, okay, I'll just delete this. Uh, that we call it as a data validation. So only one option I'm going to explain it to you only for this purpose. So I'm selecting this data. You have the option here data validation. So I'll just click on this data validation. So instead of any value, you have the option here list. So next class we are going to learn about this. Okay, sources. So I'm selecting the region here. Click on OK button. Okay. So we'll get the pop-up option here, east, west, all those things. So I'll select here. So I want to select the salesman person. So every time I can't type it, instead of select the cell, data tab, data validation, instead of any value, least source is salesman person. Click on OK button. So now just select here. So select a east, pop up beam. Your data is ready. Again, we'll go for north. Instead of a beam, I'll select here CRM. We'll get the answer. Here also I'll give the. Got it? So next class we are going to learn about this list in depth.
Okay, ma'am.
So like this you can use the data. So the next one is D minimum and D max. So D minimum. Okay, D max. So here we have some data which is related to your quarters, region, salesman person and the sales. Okay. If I want to know the sales, okay, that is on the maximum sales in the second quarter in the south region. Okay, if I want to know the maximum sales, not salesman person, I'll just, if I want to know the maximum sales in the second quarter of a south, so I'm using here equals to D max equals to D max database, same thing, select the whole table, comma, field is I want to know the sales for the second quarter in the south, so I'm selecting the field as a sales. Criteria is, so I'm selecting the two criteria here. The first one is quarter second, the second one is south region. Any doubt, or can I explain it once?
No, ma'am.
Close the bracket, enter. So what is the maximum sales in the quarter south for the second quarter? So you can see a south fifth one triple five. Then we'll go for the second quarter south 366, quarter second, sorry, in these two things 555 is the maximum. So if I want to the minimum, so I'm using here D min, open the bracket, database, so I'm selecting the database here, comma, field, so field I'll go for the sales, comma, we'll go for the what is the minimum, okay, minimum sales in sales for the south region for in the second quarter, so I'm selecting to these things, close the bracket, enter. 366. So instead of this, so I'll go for the south, no, so instead of second I'll take it as a second quarter south 555. Okay, so instead of 436, if I take it as a 325, automatically it will display the this is the minimum sales for the second quarter in the south. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Got it, ma'am.
Okay, fine. The last one we are going to learn, that is D product. So D product, of course, it is multiplication. So I want to know the RAM. Okay, that is for the date 1st Jan 24. I want to know the what is the score of it. So I'm using here equals to D product equals to D product database. So same, I'm selecting the table here, comma, filled, score, comma, criteria. I want the person is Ram, the date is 1st Jan. So I'll select the criteria, close the bracket, enter. So we'll cross verify this. Ram 1st Jan 3 multiply by Ram 1st Jan 1 multiply by Ram, okay, Ram 1st Jan 4, okay, Ram 1 4 is there, Ram 1 3 is there. So we'll get the answer here. So instead of searching, we are using here D product option. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Got it, ma'am.
Fine then. So you guys work on these functions. So today we discuss some financial function and database functions. So if you have any query, let me know in the next class. So I'm going to explain that.
Ma'am,
Yes,
ceiling
Pajali.
and floor. Yeah, on that only, ma'am. Ceiling and floor function.
Okay, I'll explain it to you.
Ma'am, just a second. Can you show me the formula for score? Just a second, ma'am.
Okay, can I explain it once?
No, ma'am, just show me the formula for score.
Equals to
Just
D product equals to D product. Open the bracket. Database is the whole table, comma, field is score, comma, criteria is these two things, name and date.
got it, ma'am.
So I'll close the bracket, click on enter option. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So